Please join me in Gasho. Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs. Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to those who are here at the temple as well as to those at Zoom. The fifth Sunday of the month is always a difficult Sunday. For some reason, I always feel, oh, I have to speak one more extra time this month. Even though when you think about the long run of things, it's all the same. But just having this fifth Sunday, it feels like I'm talking extra. I'm sure it's the same for you attending service too. Oh, you have to attend one extra service. Anyways, we'll begin this service, regular Sunday service, with a moment of silent meditation, followed by the recitation of the name of the Buddha or the Nembutsu. Please join me in Gasho. Naman Nobs, 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 Naman. Next, we're going to have the recitation of the Bandhana Tisarana. And in this Red Satan, it's on page 7 of the Red Satan. And for those of you by Zoom, I will be up on your screen. For those of you here in the Honda, it's also on the screen. So for those able to, please rise. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gachami. I go to the Dharma for guidance. Sangam saranam gachami. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Tassa. Please be seated. So today we're going to be chanting the Jusege both in Japanese and in English. We'll be chanting the Japanese version first. Oops, where did it go? Oh, I must have, hang on a second. For those that are at home, just hang on a second. I accidentally cleared it. Sorry, everyone who's here. I have to just do. Oh, what happened here? There's a full gallery. Sorry about this, everyone. What happened? Where'd it go? Okay, so now I have to share this. Little technical glitches. There you go. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So we'll chant the Jusege, which is on, what page is it on here? 54 in your red. Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs. Agon Chosega Ishimujono Shigamanzok Sevujojogak Gawomuryoko Uidaiseshu Usaijobingu Sevujojogak Gashijobudno 묘셔저지모 극겸이셔모 세부조조각 리역진셔네 조에슈방여 지금저도 이셔대니시 진리기엔다이고 우쇼무사이도 쇼조상금요 고사이주야그나 가이지에게 메시고모아 에소그조아그도 스다스센슈모 고서조만족 이
공무게 이시가요서 고세그덕어 조다이슈주 세보시시그 그여이사이버스 그서그슈덕어 간예시스조마 도그이상하여 녀부드무게지 스다스미우쇼 강하그에릭 도시사이쇼서 시간야고가 다이세오간도 고그쇼테니 도지명에 So we'll chant the English version, which is on page 117 of your red Satan, 117 of your red Satan. Naman nobs, naman nobs, naman nobs, naman nobs. I have made unrivaled vows and will reach the highest path. If I fail in any way, may I not attain Buddhahood. Should I not provide to all for countless kalpas to come, aid in times of suffering, may I not attain Buddhahood. I will reach enlightenment, but unless my Buddha name resounds throughout the universe, may I not attain seek to reach the supreme way, be a guide to one and all. May my power shine great light to illumine and dispel the darkness of the three poisons, and save all from suffering. With eyes of wisdom I'll remove the darkness of ignorance. I will close all evil paths, open gates of highest good. When I attain Buddhahood, light will shine throughout all lands, light brighter than sun and moon, outshining all heavenly lights, giving my virtues to all, not forsaking anyone. I will proclaim the Dharma like the roar of a great lion, bowing before all Buddhas, steadfastly gaining virtues, with wisdom fulfilling my vows. I shall be a guide to all, like the wisdom of my teacher. May my wisdom also shine all throughout the universe, and illumine one and all. If I shall fulfill these vows, may all lands tremble with joy. From the heavens wondrous flowers rain down upon all the lands. Naman Nabu, Naman Nabu, Naman Nabu, Naman Nabu, Naman Nabu, Naman Nabu. The virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. No one loves, no one loves, no one loves. No one loves, no one.
Once again, good morning, everyone. Good morning, June and Doug. Welcome. And Hiroko, welcome. So this morning, we're here for our regular Sunday service, and I wanted to share with you, recently I've been watching this program. It's on Netflix, as well as this new Japanese streaming app, or whatever you want to call it, called JME. But the name of the program in English is Extremely Inappropriate. Okay? In Japanese, it's 不適切にほどがある. And it's a comedy. It's a Japanese comedy. And it talks about this man who is a high school gym teacher, phys ed teacher in 1986. And he actually accidentally goes through a time machine and comes to 2024, okay, present day. And so it's about all the differences between 1986 in Japan and then the present day Japan. And it is a comedy, and it's very far-fetched in many ways. And the time machine is actually a city bus. So this man in 2024, inventor, created a time machine using a city bus. Okay, so this the main character accidentally gets on this bus in 1986, and he travels across time to the present. And so when the bus stops in the present, people start getting on the bus, and he's sitting at the very back of this bus, and he brings out a cigarette, and he lights the cigarette and starts smoking it, right? Which was perfectly appropriate in 1986. But today, all the other passengers that come on the bus, they start looking at him, leering at him, right, for smoking. And then he looks at the people and they're wondering why they're all staring at him. And he says to this one girl, he says, "You have noodles coming out of your ears." And she's got these AirPods, and I guess it looks like noodles coming out of her ears. And then she's wearing a sort of a mini skirt, and he says, they're going to be, you're asking for trouble dressed that way. And they all start taking videos of this guy, right? And so, this whole premise of this was showing how things have changed over these 30 years. And some of it for the better, like this smoking, right? Like we don't see anybody smoking in public transit anymore, which is probably a good thing. But when we think back, back in the days, even going on an airplane, there was a smoking and non-smoking section. You remember all that? And there's nothing really dividing the two, right? But anyways, but then it also goes to show on this show that some of the things that we've come to have become maybe too sensitive. So, for instance, they were showing this one company worker, office worker, who's being reprimanded by the Department of Compliance, and because of some things that he said at work. And one of the things he said to his junior worker, he said, "Ganbare," I mean, try hard. And apparently, that's now considered power harassment, because it puts pressure on the junior worker. So they point out that you said "ganbare," which is inappropriate now. So this man from 1986 is overhearing all this, and he's saying that's ridiculous. He's saying, that you need to put a little bit of pressure on the workers to get them to work, or there's nothing wrong with that, he's saying. And then the Department of Compliance is then pointing out to this worker, he said, on another occasion, you invited your junior worker out for dinner. That's inappropriate. And I guess this is also considered, they call power harassment, because the junior worker has a difficult time refusing to go out with their senior worker. They feel obliged to go out. So that's power harassment. So they were showing, when you see it in that context, it makes it kind of seem funny that some of the things that we're doing now today seems a little bit extreme, right? And some of the things that happen that we're doing today makes life a little bit more difficult, maybe. Yeah. And one of the things that's happening recently that I think is making things really difficult particularly for seniors in our community, senior Japanese-speaking individuals in the community, is that there's a TV broadcasting program called TV Japan. And right now, you could get it either on TELUS or Shaw. It's just an extra channel that you can order through cable. Well, as of today's actually the last day, they are stopping broadcasting this channel. So this was a 24-hour Japanese channel. We get it at our house. My mother gets it. A number of people in Wisteria here get it. And I know a lot of seniors who prefer Japanese broadcasting get this broadcasting. So they are stopping their broadcasting as of today, and they're going over to a new format, which is a streaming format, okay? So what this means is that anybody who's been watching it on cable TV can no longer watch it anymore. Okay? And it's been now on, they've been broadcasting it for about 30 years now here in North America. This company, TV Japan, what they do is they take the feed from Japan and then they edit it in the way that, because of the time differences between night and day in Japan and here, if they were showing stuff that was shown in the evening in Japan, it would be in the morning here. So many of the shows that they show, they broadcast it so that evening dramas are shown in the evenings here as well. There are some things that they do live, like news. They have NHK News, which comes on live. But anyways, for the past 30 years, people here in North America, in most of North America, can subscribe through your local cable networks to this station. Okay. So now that it's going off air and you have to go through streaming, it's a huge inconvenience, if you will, for a lot of the, particularly elderly seniors. For one, most of them, or many of them, don't even know what streaming is. I mean, 20 years ago, going back to the show with 1986 to present, 1986, there wasn't even that word, streaming, right? Now, young people, it's a second nature to stream. Things are streamed, going through the internet, right? And so what you need to do now to be able to watch this show, you either have to have one, they call it a smart TV, right? They have smart TVs now, not just TVs, smart TVs, or you have to get these devices like a Comcast or a Roku or streaming boxes, they're called, that you can then download these different channels, if you will, for a fee, right? So it's much more complicated, where before you could just turn on using your TELUS or Shaw cable, and you turn it, and then you turn it to the channel, and that was it. Just like regular TV, it was part of regular TV. Now you have to go through this whole different thing. And so, I know myself, I was complaining because I have to now not only learn it for myself, but I have to help my mother out with trying to figure this out. And so I was thinking, what an inconvenience. Like,
the reason why they switched over to this format, one, I think, is because they get direct revenue, this broadcasting company. When they go through the cable companies, they make a deal with a cable company, and it's the cable company that gets, I think, a lot of the revenue. But now, everything goes directly to this broadcasting company. You have to go through them. And it's quite a bit more expensive, actually, than going through the cable company. So one, it's revenue generating. And two, I think they're trying to gear it more for the younger generations. Like my kids don't watch regular TV. They go, they're always on their computer or iPad or whatever it is, their phone, and they're using these streaming devices, right? Getting through there. So, I was complaining about how they're neglecting the seniors, that the seniors are being left behind. But in reality, this is all about change. When things become beneficial to us, we appreciate it or we take granted of it, the fact. So the reason why I say this is before this broadcasting system came on air, way back 30 years ago, do you remember how you had to get Japanese broadcasting? Did any of you have relatives in Japan that would videotape, make tapes of shows and then send it over, and then you have to put it in your VHS player to see, something that was months after it's passed? Once we got this broadcasting, we didn't have to do that anymore. So now we've gotten so used to this, now that it's no longer there, now we start complaining how inconvenient it is. But in fact, it's just about change in life. And this is our existence, is that there is change that is constantly happening, but me as an ignorant being, I cannot follow these changes. Okay? And so in the Buddha's teaching, the Buddha taught of many different paths to enlightenment. And one of the paths he taught was what we call the easy path. This is the path of Amida Buddha. Okay? Because it doesn't tell you you have to go through all these difficult things to receive the teaching. You have to become a monk or a nun, and you have to go through all these difficult practices. It just says to let go. Listen to the Dharma and let go. And the working is actually been all done by Amida Buddha. And so as we receive the teachings, we realize it is really for ignorant beings such as myself who complain that this is changing or that's changing, who can't accept things that are going on in life, who sees only my self-centered self. And for such a being as myself, this path, called the easy path, as life is hard in itself, there is a path of being received as we are in the compassion of the Buddha, and that is through this Nembutsu teaching. As we are, with all our faults, we are accepted. And out of gratitude, we put our hands together in Gassho to say, thank you, Namo Amida Butsu. And again, at this time, if I can ask you to please join me in Gassho as we express our appreciation. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much, and we'll close the service with the singing of Shinshu Shuka. And I can't remember what page that is. I know it's in here. It is. Or is it not in here? Maybe it's not even in here. Is it in here? Oh, we'll sing Ondok-san, because I don't see it in here. Okay, we'll sing Ondok-san. Yeah, which is on page 134. Okay, and then let me just bring up the music for that. Oh, where'd it go? Sorry, I just bring up the music.
please be seated. Okay. Let's see. Thank you very much, everyone. This will conclude our regular Sunday service, last service of March. We're getting into April next week. Next week is our Shotsuki service. And then 2 weeks from now, we'll be having our Hanamatsuri weekend with Reverend James Martin as our special guest. He'll be giving a lecture on Saturday from 3 o'clock. We'll try to put it on Zoom as well for those who want to join by Zoom. I don't think I received his topic yet. I better ask him what he's going to talk about. And then following that, we have a potluck dinner right afterwards. And then on Sunday, James Sensei will be our guest for the Hanamatsu service. We also have on the 17th, so that's the 14th. And then on the 17th, which is the Wednesday, we'll have our movie night. And we'll be watching Shall We Dance? Some of you probably have seen it before, but it's a nice movie to watch again. And then I hope I'd be able to watch it, but I just procured one of my favorite movies in Japanese, but I could not find an one with English subtitles. Well, I just found it this morning, so I tried ordering it over online. And when I get it, I'll show it at movie night. It's called Fancy Dance. Not Shall We Dance, but Fancy Dance. And it's all about this young man who becomes a Zen monk. But it's not what you think. So we'll show that coming up in probably May sometime. But that's the coming events for now. So please join us next week for Shotsuki service. And thank you all to those who joined by Zoom as well. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sensei.